Lisa Morgan. Hello.
Hello, good afternoon. I'm Lisa Morgan. I'm the current president of the Georgia Association of Educators. But more importantly, I'm a 23-year veteran classroom teacher. And I'm here today to speak against this bill. And you may say, why? As an educator, we beg for more parental involvement. Every week, my note to my parents, we would love to have you come volunteer in the classroom. We need volunteers for the field trip. Anytime you have free time and would like to come observe, you're welcome in my classroom. So you're going to say, why are we opposed to this bill? We're opposed to this bill because it is part of what truly feels like an attack on educators for many of the bills that you are introducing this year. Teachers feel attacked. And more than that, this bill seems to drive a wedge between the most important partnership in education, and that is between the parents and the teachers. This bill makes that relationship adversarial rather than the partnership it should be, because educators and parents have one focus, and that is the success of our students. Public education is a public good. Parents are not consumers. Parents are our partners in educating the future of our state. That's why public education is in our Constitution as a constitutional requirement for the state to fund an adequate public education for all our students. When we talk about curriculum and curriculum materials, I want to talk about what happens in a classroom. Several times during my 23 years, my children, my students have looked at me, and the look on their face clearly said, Miss Morgan, you've lost your mind. And you ask why? Because I was teaching a lesson, maybe a lesson that the class the year before, that lesson was a wonderful lesson. That's why I pulled it back out. But for this particular group of students, it just didn't go well. And multiple times I've said, okay, everybody stop. Put your pencil down. Put your crayons down if we're using crayons. Pick your paper up. Crumple it up. Johnny, carry the trash can around. Everybody throw it away. This isn't working for you. I need to find a new way to do this. And we'll come back to it tomorrow. And we would move on. And then I would go home and I might research. I would talk to my colleagues, but I would find another way to introduce that concept because that's what my students needed. I can't tell you as a classroom teacher exactly what we're going to be doing next Tuesday, because if I'm a good teacher, I'm changing my lessons, I'm modifying, I'm doing what I need to do based on my continual assessment of my students. Finally, if it is so important that this bill be passed, why is it not applying to every student who's being funded by public money? Why are we not including all the private schools that accept vouchers? Those parents, if this is about parent rights and it's so important, they should be included. But I would say to you, the most important person in all of these discussions are our students. And you can't put students first when you put our teachers last. Thank you.
Senator Jackson.
Ms. Morgan, thank you for being here today. As I said earlier, I used to teach public school for 1 year. Do you remember PTA, where the parents and teachers used to come together for meetings monthly? We're down in Chatham County. We all work together for common good. And I just want to thank you for being here and your statements, standing up for public education, but more importantly, standing up for the students in Georgia.
Yes, I remember PTA, and I can tell you that in many of our schools, just like those notes going home asking parents to come volunteer, those notes are going home. Please come to PTA.
Senator Anavitarte.
Mr. Morgan, thanks for being here today. One question, and thank you for your comments. One question I have, or I have a couple questions, but can you articulate to this committee, having been a teacher, in your mind, what should be the rights of parents in the classroom?
As I said, parents and teachers should be partners, and we should be working together because we both have the exact same goal, and that's the success of our students.
Thank you for that. But what do you think the rights of a parent should be for their child in the classroom?
The parents have all the rights they've always had for their children. And I will say, for example, in this bill, it talks about grades and parent access to grades. Teachers are available to parents, and that information is available to parents across this state. I went on the websites of some of our smallest counties. Tolliver County is one of our smallest counties in the state. Parents have instant access to their students' grades simply because we as educators believe that's important. Yes.
Go ahead. No, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
They have instant access. That's in our smallest counties. That's in I would say the vast majority of our counties. The parent simply requests their login and their password, and they have access 24 hours a day, 7 days a week on any internet connected device to their child's grades in their classes. That's what concerns me so much about this bill. Teachers and parents are trying to build this partnership and work together for all of our students. And this is trying to put it in an adversarial state and come between that partnership that is so important.
So I appreciate that. So yeah, I do agree with you. I mean, they have access to their grades, but I would find a distinct difference between having access to, a family's grades of their child and what are the access of their rights? Like, is it transparent? Is it posted on a website in terms of what are those inherent rights that maybe a parent has without having to go, no offense to the attorneys in the room, but having to go, hire legal counsel to understand what those rights are. So, I mean, can you articulate to me again, what are the rights of parents?
I think parents have rights and obligations when it comes to the education of their child.
Well, what are those rights?
And I think those rights are, they have the right to be involved. They have the right, anytime they have a concern, pick up the phone and call the teacher. As teachers, we answer phone calls, we answer emails from parents all the time. That partnership must remain a partnership for the good of our students.
And I just want to make one last comment, because I know one of our colleagues here in the committee made a comment this afternoon. So in terms of education not being funded, I believe in the governor's proposed budget, education is fully funded. Is that not true?
For the third time in 20 years, the QBE formula is fully funded. I would say that the QBE formula is the quality basic education. And I believe that my students and all 1.7 million students in this state deserve more than a basic education.
Well, I can't tell you what people were doing 20 years before my time, but in 2022, the budget is fully funded. Is that not correct?
For the QBE formula, yes, it is.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.